Hey everyone, welcome back to the Center Leader Podcast. The goal of this podcast is to help you as the leader live a life that is centered on Christ. And we talk about different leadership topics. We talk about different tension points within Connect groups. And today we are talking about the Multiply Night. We just had the Multiply Night last night. Thank you for all the leaders that were able to attend. And to the leaders that weren't able to make it, you'll be getting a link if you haven't yet of the session and some of the things that were discussed, and even some of the storylines that we were able to storyline out with some Connect group leaders. It was a special night, and just thank you for the memories that were created there and the conversations that we were able to have. The next event is going to be happening in November, so make sure that you look at your calendar. I believe it's November 17th. Don't quote me on that. I don't have a calendar in front of me, but we'll be having a Leaders Legacy dinner, and that's where we'll collectively get all the Connect group leaders together again. Those 2 nights are very special and very important that you be there so that we can vision cast and so that we can encourage one another. So the big thing coming away from Multiply Night is that you would begin praying for just one couple, just one person in your Connect group that you could say, hey, is it time to multiply? Last night, we vision casted this. I gave it a couple names. One is the Multiply Medal. Another very original name is Ajax, right? It is from a Ajax game, but I want you to think of it as a fractal, and fractal meaning there's, you've got the center point, and then out from it, you've got all these different things taking place. But the center of this, if you weren't there, the center of this being you, that's your group, the center of the Jacks. And then out from it, there's four sides, and it also makes a multiply sign too, if you hold it that way, X, right? Multiple meanings here. But the reality, this is a visual for you of saying, hey, the challenge that I gave is I want you in the next 5 years to be able to say, hey, I'm going to multiply my group 4 times. You're the 5th, right? So you get a year buffer too. But the next 5 years of Connect Group leadership, I'm going to multiply at least 4 times. And the cool thing is, and we storyline this too, is that I gave you a couple of these last night. And what I want you to do is when you multiply, you hand this to somebody and you say, hey, it's your turn. And you continually multiply. And it's just a visual. I know it may be silly, but it's a visual for us. Because as we think about multiplication, I want you to think about the impact that your leadership can have and the impact that disciple making can have. And that I know that I'm eternally grateful, you're eternally grateful that the 12 disciples, that it didn't stop with them, that they spread the message and the focus and the goal of Jesus Christ across the world. And we are sitting here today because of that, because they didn't stop with them. And so when you think of this, when you look at this, I want it to be a visual reminder. If you weren't able to be there and you need some of these, please let me know. I'll get you some. But the goal is that you would start looking at this and say, okay, hey, I've multiplied once. I've multiplied maybe 3 times. I'm going to do 4. And then what happens after you multiply 4 times? I don't know. Come back to me and let's get another Jacks, right? But I want it to be a visual, once again, a visual for you to be able to hand to that leader as they leave your group. Even last night, handing it to a leader that came out of my group and saying, hey, it's your turn now. And I was talking with a leader just this past week, and I was explaining this to them, and they're like, hey, I already multiplied once. I didn't even think about it. I didn't realize I've done that. But yeah, this person came out of my group already. And that's how natural it should be, is that once your group fills up, it's saying, okay, hey, how can we reach more people? It's not about us. As leaders, it's not about us. And so that's my goal, and that is our prayer too this year, is that we would be Connect groups that multiply. Why? Because not only is it Centerpoint's mission and vision to reach people, to equip people, to make disciples, but that stops happening the moment that we become insider focused, the moment that we become us for and no more, the moment that we say, no, the community, we're full enough. Close the doors. Our groups are full enough. We've got enough groups. I'm happy. We start using phrases like, well, this is my group. Well, we just don't have any more space. Well, I don't want to leave this group because I'm happy. Well, I don't want to leave this group because I have relationships here. And I want to continue to hit that because that is the main pain point that everybody will bring up. And it's something that we've even brought up in our pain point. But get this, our group has already multiplied, mine and Sarah's. And I say that to tell you this, that the couple that multiplied out of our group, we're still friends with. We still talk with them every Sunday. We still see them every Sunday. Guess what? Even tonight, we're going over to eat at their house tonight. So, one, we're still friends with them. We still do life with them. We still text them. We still interact with them. We still go and eat with them. It's not that they're not our friends anymore. It's not that we've forsaken those friendships and relationships. We're still keeping them close, but we're also realizing that we can be stronger apart than we were together. There was a moment where we were stronger together, but now that couple's realized, like, hey, there's more young couples at Centerpoint that we can reach, that we can disciple, that we can do life with, and that they need community. We can facilitate that in our house. We're going to do that. Same way for you. If you're watching this, I want you to start identifying and think of couples that are in your group that you say, man, they would make phenomenal Connect group leaders. And I always say this, and you've heard me say this before probably, do not say no for somebody else. Do not say no for somebody else. That's the biggest thing I believe that God probably taught me in 2025, really through the leadership of Shane and just his mentorship too. As we had those conversations, there'd be times where he'd be like, what do you think about this person? I'd be like, yeah, probably not. And then we started having that conversation, and Shane's like, hey, you can't say no for somebody else. And really, there's a lot of people that I asked leadership opportunities of in 2025, and it surprised me. And there's a lot of people that I doubted that they surprised me. And it really was a gut check, and it humbled me very quickly in that regard of saying, okay, God, I'm going to pray first, and then I'm going to approach this person, and I'm going to let them say no. And it's okay if they say no. They're not less spiritual if they say no. They don't love God less than I do because they say no, but it's okay if they say no. But it's also okay if they say yes. And so don't get so caught off guard by what maybe you think about somebody's leadership or their story or their life, and let God truly work and just be the hands and feet of Jesus in your leadership and in your conversations. So as we think about Multiply, as we come off Multiply night, we're finishing out the Connect group semester. It is March, mid-March, and we've got April, May, and then we take a break for some summer cookouts and a summer exhale. You'll hear me say this always. I want you guys to be healthy leaders. We only have healthy groups if we have healthy leaders. I care about your family. I care about your marriage. I care about your home life. I truly do. And I care about your leadership, obviously. But those things only are healthy if you're healthy. And so I always want to protect your time, because I know that you're spending a lot of time leading people and walking through heavy life situations with people. So I also want to appreciate that and protect that and give you some exhales. There's going to be inhales and there's going to be exhales in leadership and ministry. And so we take the summer, June and July specifically, to say, hey, we're going to exhale. We're going to have fun with our groups. We're going to have a cookout, but we're going to exhale. And then we're going to start looking at the next semester. Starting in August, we'll have a training and we'll have an on-ramp. And what I want you to start preparing for, though, is somebody to come out of your group by August that would say, hey, I'm ready to start a group. So the question is, what are you doing right now to prepare that person for that moment? What I'm doing personally is I'm letting this other couple in our group starting to lead more. Say, hey, and you maybe even have to be strategic about this. There's some nights, which I've shared this, where me and Sarah will go and visit a Connect group, or we'll do a Connect group blitz where we visit a lot of Connect groups within a week. And that week, I usually ask that couple, hey, can you host at your house? And they're like, oh, sure. I'm like, hey, we're busy. Or there's sometimes that we haven't even been busy, but I've strategically placed them and said, hey, we can't make it. Can you guys do it at your house? Or, hey, we got something going on. Can you do it at your house? Start setting people up for home runs before they even know what's happening, right? I'm not saying manipulate or trick people, but I'm saying strategically place people in opportunities for them to lead. Now, the one press back maybe that you would have for that is, Kurt, what if it fails? What if it fails? But what if it succeeds? I believe the best teacher in my life has been failure. Why? Because after I walk away from a moment, I'm like, man, I'm never going to do it that way again. I learn from your failures. You learn from failure. You learn a lot quicker from failure than you do from success. Why? Because you learn what not to do and what to do differently. And so there are going to be some failures. There's going to be some times where maybe you put a lot of leadership potential or a lot of leadership stock in somebody and it doesn't pan out. I've had that happen to me multiple times, even since I've been here, a year and a half in. It's going to happen, but don't let that discourage you from those moments where this couple comes to you and says, hey, we do want to lead, and it's phenomenal. And their group starts growing, and then they multiply, and they multiply. So when you think about multiplication, when you think about what your group could look like 5 years from now, it starts with prayer. And it starts with, Lord, I am an ordinary person, and I want to be used by you. Help me to see people in my area of ministry, in my area of life, in my Connect group that I can pour into so that they can pour into others. And so that is the goal of Multiply Night. So thank you for those who were able to attend. Once again, if you weren't able to attend, you will be getting a link to those teachings and to the whole night, and so that you can go back and watch that and really see what we're talking about there. The Multiply Medal. If you didn't get one of these, make sure that you get one of these. These are going to be sticking around for a while. I want it to be a visual. I want people to see them everywhere. I don't want people to step on them. They are very painful if you step on them. Please don't do that. Don't ask me how I know that. But you will be getting one of these. Set it on your desk. Set it next to your Bible. Set it in your nightstand. Set it somewhere, maybe on a windowsill where you can see it, and it'll remind you, hey, discipleship is more than just me. Disciple making is a process. It takes time, takes intentionality. But without Christ, we can't do it. So let that be a reminder for you, is that, hey, I'm going to begin multiplying. And just pray, Lord, bring me a leader. If you say, Kurt, there's nobody that could lead in my group, I'm barely leading myself, that's an honest prayer. And start that prayer, Lord, help me to be a better leader. And then because of that, help there other to be leaders in my group to step up in those moments. So thank you guys for your investment, and thank you guys for your leadership. And if you guys need anything, as always, we are here for you as a spiritual formation team. And as your Connect Group's pastor, I'm always available, one phone call, one text away. And thank you guys for attending Multiply Night. And thank you guys for those who couldn't make it for reaching out and let me know. We'll get you guys those links, and make sure to stay plugged in. Make sure to finish strong this semester. If you guys need anything, reach out, and we will see you on the next one.